Good morning. We're putting our tanks back on our tender trailer. We had taken them off a few weeks ago, Dad and Phil, and I don't know who. Not me. I didn't do it. But to haul those concrete culverts for that bridge we put in down to Berkey, we needed the trailer without the tanks on it, so I took them off. We're done with that, and so now we're putting the tanks back on so we can get it in the barn down to Berkey to store it for the winter. Yeah, it's a lot of work to put these on and off, but hey, we'll get them put back on there. So. All right, Dad just took off with that tender trailer. We got it all back together, and I didn't film it for you. Sorry. Anyway, I sure wish we could get some sunshine. It's not looking promising. I need to go pull some more soil samples. Same deal with that pattern ag, where we're doing some testing for different diseases and pathogens and whatever. One of the bean fields, well, the last bean field that we ran is one of the fields I wanted to get tested, and so we're gonna go do that. All right, I've got what I need. Here's our iPad. This is the field that we're going to with on the pattern app. I've got our bags and our stickers. Our gator is still at Berkey, so we're using the four-wheeler. Let's go. Oh, buddy. I should have wore a jacket. I'm frozen. Okay, we made it to the field. It's only 2 miles. It's only 2 miles, but... Okay, 6 zones. We're going to start right here. We've got one kind of in this general vicinity. We'll pull our samples. We need 12 cores per bag. All right, we've got our bag with our 12 cores in it here, so I'm going to seal that up. Like so. And then we find my stickers, and we pull one of those and stick it on the bag. And then we take our iPad, and we tell it which zone it was, this one, and record, and we scan it. Done. Last core. Get it in the bag. All right, saving the last one. We got our 6 samples there. We'll head back to the farm. Part of why I wanted to sample this field is because we had so much white mold in here and some known issues. And this soil test with this pattern ag for, you know, the predictive analytics, where they're trying to tell me what problems and pathogens we might have in the future. I want to know if they're actually going to tell me what I know that I already have. We'll see how accurate things is. If this test comes back and says no white mold detected, we're probably not going to keep using this product. But we'll see what the results say compared to what I know, and what other surprises they may have in there that I don't really know about. So we've got one other farm that we are going to sample, but it is corn right now. We'll have to wait till the corn comes out. So we're going to take these back. I've got the samples that I took a week or 2 ago at Berkey still in a box. I'm going to put these in that box, and we're going to send them in and get the analysis on it, and then we'll sample that last field after we get the corn out. But that is the same field that we took that sample in yesterday that was 28%. So it might be a little while before we get to that one. Meanwhile, we've got some beans right across the bridge over here where we were going to try and finish the other night. Let's take a look and see if we can combine them. I made a half a pass along the ends before we decided that it was raining too much. You can see we got a lot of green out here. I do not like that. Some weeds coming in. And you can see all the white mold. These aren't going to be very good beans as it is, so... Ugh. The mold is pretty well gone, but the result is the same. We got these flat pods that just don't have really any beans in them to speak of, or these little itty-bitty, framing, these little itty-bitty beans that just don't add up. No good. No good. Where's a good plant? Right here's one. They're better than yesterday. I think we can probably get them. I don't think they're dry. It didn't crack, but it was harder than I thought it would be. we're gonna combine today. We're at least gonna do this, so we're done here. Maybe go eat lunch and then come do it. All right, I've got a box. We gotta ship it. So I'm gonna drop this off at the UPS drop point, grab some food, and then we're gonna get the combine out. All right, we're in the combine. Let's go do this. I am sure the beans are still plenty wet, but I don't really care. We gotta go. We gotta get some of these done here. So they're calling for rain. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then next week looks better, like actual sunshine in the forecast. Remains to be seen if that's gonna happen or not. But I just know that the days to run beans are limited, and I really want to get started working on some corn, so it would be nice to get these beans out of the field. Got another software update. I did 2 yesterday, and that one did not pop up after I turned it back on, but now it's there, so we'll have to do that at some point. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to do it right now. Okay, we made it down to the field. We got our head picked back up. Our beans are over there, over that ditch. We have to go over the bridge to get over that ditch. So we're going to do that. We have to wait for all the traffic coming this way to get out of the way, though, because we don't want to meet them on the bridge. Coming from the other way, well, they can get behind me and wait. I'll wait if I see them, like that red truck that's coming down there. But as long as there's nothing coming at me, we'll be okay. Like so. And with the head all the way up, we go right over the guardrails on both sides. Plenty of room. Plenty of room. And down into the field. Okay. We made it. Now we got to get our grain tank covers open. Make sure everything's lined up. Guidance lines, all that stuff. Okay, well, we're going. We got beans coming in the tank. We'll see how this goes. I expect them to still be fairly wet. If things don't go well here, this will be all we do, but we're at least going to get this field done. There's not that much here. If things start going okay and the beans aren't horribly wet, we'll move on to the next field. Well, I just had a slip clutch go off that I've never heard go off before. But I know why. That's a problem. How did that not break? Oh, it did, right here. Dang. Alright, well, we gotta fix that. No guards, just a couple of knives. Alright. Good to go. I think we're all in good shape. I didn't see any other broken stuff. So, better a couple of knife sections than that thing ending up in a tire. Now the question is, where in the heck did that thing come from? I doubt it floated out of the river, but I suppose it's possible. This field floods regularly. There's a ditch on this side, the river on that side. It's not uncommon in the spring for this field to be 95% underwater, so we find random things out here every now and then, but a piece of metal bar, that's a new one. Oh, it's almost some sunshine. We need it too, because these beans are not dry. They're wetter than I would like. I do have a green card driver. I guess that's nice. It's good. Says they're around 16. 16's a little wetter than I would like. I don't really want to combine a bunch of 16% beans. But we're going to finish this field anyway. Hopefully by the time we're done, they're like 15, and then we're like, oh, by the time we get moved, they'll be fine. Well, where there's not white mold in this field, the beans are not bad. Running in the 70s right here, and you can see they're much healthier, but you see the line right there? And there's even a little right here. They're gonna fall off. You can see it on the map. Right there. Green, 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 red. Last little pass here. We had more acres out here than I thought. We're gonna get to almost 12. We might get to 12. there's 15 in the field, but we got all this wet ground, this area, that we just never even got planted because it was too wet this spring. There was a chance we could have planted it, but we assume that it's going to drown out every year. It may have grown a crop this year, maybe, who knows. Anyway, we're done here. There's still 16% beans. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we should go anywhere else or just forget it. Let's talk to Dad and Phil and kind of make a plan here, but we got this one done, so at least we're done in this area. We can get stuff moved up to the next field, if nothing else. All right, we are done here and gonna make a move. We are gonna go to the next field. There's 57 acres, triangle field along the river, clear up north here a little ways. I don't know if we'll do the whole field or we'll just get it opened up and the equipment moved and see what they are. Phil seems to think the beans are likely wetter than what the combine says, and he may be right. I have no idea. So that's what we're gonna do for now. We're moved and running. You guys won't be able to see it, and I won't be able to zoom in far enough to show it, but there's another combine and a head going down the road over there. I'm not the only one out combining. Ooh. I don't know how much we're gonna do here. I really don't want to combine 18% beans. 17.4. We'll get the ends off. The ends along the river over there, there's a lot of them. You can see we got a bunch of white mold out here in this field. It's more patchy than widespread like the last one, or the one that we did the other day, but there are some heavy pockets of it. Okay, we're getting this field opened up here. This spot right here, that little wet spot right there, yeah, that's a good spot to get 8RXs stuck on the second day you take them to the field. If you know, you know, and you remember, but hopefully we get through here okay with a combine, and then Brock with a grain cart that's not light at the moment, but we are not that wet. We should be okay. And that site's not full of water like it was when I may or may not have driven an 8RX through here. Okay. And a little more sunshine. Maybe it's gonna break and things will start drying out a little bit. I have a feeling we're gonna keep going because we need to keep going, but I don't like how wet the beans are. The thing is, the fodder is dried out, so the beans aren't tough till they run through. It's just the beans picked up so much moisture from that rain, and we haven't got the sun to bake it out of them yet, so they're still wet, which it's not great, but we can get them out. So what I would really like to do is get this done today and then start in on that field. There's 175 in that field, plus 13 on the corner, like 185, 188. If we could be done by there tomorrow, I would be thrilled. I don't know if that's possible or not. We're gonna have to keep moving if that's what we're gonna do, but we can get a lot done. It's only 3:30. We can get this done easy and get started in there. We should be able to do it. I don't know. We'll see. Good news, the second load was a point drier than the first load. Went from 18 down to 16.7, so they are drying out. I no longer trust the moisture reading on the combine, because when I click on this, there's a moisture correction in here. This, when I clicked on it earlier to add a point of moisture correction, because the combine was drier than the moisture tester at the farm, it said negative 25. I changed it to +2, and the moisture did not jump by 27 points, so I don't know what was going on there. I think one of my software updates probably changed that number, and we got to get it dialed back in again. So I've got it at a +2 right now. That's a similar reading to what he was getting on that first load. Hopefully they're a little drier than that, and I can take another point back out of that correction, but I'm going to leave it for right now until I get some more data. Well, we're starting to move across here. The beans are slowly drying out. They just keep creeping down, which is good. So you can see, again, good beans, really good beans, and then white mold. And you can see it on the map here. We've got some areas that it's starting to show up worse than others. Still good average. We're still pushing 70 bushel beans here. I figured these would be pretty good for the most part. These were the first planted beans. They've looked good all year. It just got that white mold in them late in the season, and I didn't know how severe it would be. But yeah, right here it's sort of bad, and the yield drops way off. But yeah, we're doing okay. So we're gonna keep going. We decided since the beans are drying as fast as they are, still wet but drying, that we are going to continue to harvest until we either fill everything up or decide, why are we pushing in the middle here? What's going on? Come on. I saw it coming. A big wad of stuff that wouldn't push through or push off the cutter bar, and then it just caught. So we'll fix this. We can reverse the head, push that out, and then we start it back up. Now the trick is to grab that slowly so it doesn't pull it all back in and do the same thing over again. It should be good. There it goes. Now, is it going to keep feeding? There's something to push in there. It doesn't want to go. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
You know what it is? That missing knife. That will do it. And it's in the center, so we got to get the right bolts. It's going to be a pain in the butt. All right, we got that replaced. There's another broken half one here, but it's right on the overlap. I'm not going to mess with it because that one's a real pain to replace right now. Better. We got it fixed. The bolts were still in there for that knife section, but the knife was gone. But the bolt heads were all wore off. It may have been getting loose or something, and it just kind of worked its way out until it broke. And while you can go with a broken one, if one tooth is broken, if it's two side by side, or the whole thing is gone, yeah, it's gonna start pushing, dragging up, not gonna work. So fortunately, it's a fairly quick fix. Well, look at that. The cloud layer is breaking, or we found the edge of it. The sun has come out. It is 6:30 at night, and we aren't going to get sun for very long, and it's at a low angle, so it's really not going to dry the beans out tonight. However, hopefully that holds in the morning and we get sunshine first thing in the morning, because then that bean should be dry tomorrow and we should have a really good day. So we're just about done here. Just got the point to do down here. We're at 53 acres and there's 57 in the field, so there's 4 acres left. Long ways to go, lots of turns to make for 4 acres. There's just not much here though, so we're gonna finish this one. We're running out of places to put beans. We've got one truck left to fill. Phil doesn't want to put these wetter beans in the bin. It still says they're 16%. I don't know how accurate that is. We're probably gonna do lots of trucking in the morning and just haul them into town and sell them and take our lumps on the dock there. Still better to harvest these. So it's 16%. Phil told me their dock is 18 cents a bushel for drying charge. So 18 cents on 1,000 bushel load, which you won't get 1,000 bushel on a load anyway, but that's $180. And if you go back to my 10% versus 15% beans video that I made a few weeks ago now, a week ago or whatever it was, you'll know that at 15% beans, we lose $120 a load, versus 10% beans, you lose $320, I think it was, or $360 maybe. And so I get it. I don't want to haul them in that wet. You're starting to lose money, but it's still better than them being overly dry, and us getting them out of the field and done is worth something, because today is October 17th. We're running out of time to get beans done, and we have run no corn. So when you get days like this where the beans are wet but the fodder is dry and you can harvest them, I think you gotta go. I think we have to go, at least. And so I do not regret the decision to combine today, even if the beans are a little bit wet. Almost. All right, well, there's Phil with the truck. Let's see, it's, what time is it? Can't see it because of that pop-up message. 6:52, 7 o'clock. So I would like to move across the river to the next field and just open it up and maybe fill the whole grain cart, maybe just open up the ends. That way we're there in the morning and hopefully can get a little bit quicker, earlier start tomorrow and have a huge day up there. Like, there's 175, 180 acres. I highly doubt we could get it done, but dang, we could get the vast majority of it if we could just have a good day. So I'm gonna try and convince them to at least move tonight. Well, we've lost our sunshine for the night. So we did get moved up to this next field. I made a pass around the chicken litter pile. We gotta go get the grain cart, so I'm gonna take Brock over. We're gonna get that. That seems like a problem. Also, it didn't record that little pass that I made there. So yeah, we're gonna shut her down, restart, so when we come back, hopefully it boots up normal. About once a day, the computer freezes up and we have to restart. And that's concerning and not cool. Not cool, John Deere. You'd think one of these software updates would fix that. Okay, let's get started here. So we're doing some end rows. These are 30-inch row beans, most of the field. There was some 15s on the end because Phil planted that field that we just finished first. He had just a little bit of seed left in there, and they were 3-1 sort of full season beans, and we were switching to some early beans, where some fields where we were going to put wheat, and so he didn't want those full season beans in the drill or the planter, so he came up here and planted them out just on these ends. There was just a couple acres there, but the rest of them is actually our full season beans. They're 3.3 maturity. I do have our Go for the Gold soybean yield contest entry in this field. We're going to harvest that tomorrow and see how it goes. I don't know if these beans are going to be any good or not. There is some white mold up here, but there's some spots where I really pushed them, and we spent a lot of money pushing them, and so hopefully there's some pretty darn good beans up here. We'll know more tomorrow, but we're gonna just open the field up tonight, do enough to maybe probably fill the grain cart so that we can load a semi out of here tomorrow morning and then keep everything moving. So there's about 185 to 190 acres between this big field and the little field over there, and I'm going to do everything in my power to finish them tomorrow. But that means we have to have a huge day tomorrow, meaning starting early and working late. So pray for sun in the morning. All right. Well, I don't know if we'll get the cart full here, but we're about done for the night. The beans have gotten drier. Well, as I say that, they're 15 here, but I've seen some 13s pop up on the map. Let's see, if I look at the moisture, well, that scale must be off. Anything 13 to 16 is green, so we need to adjust that scale. Let's go 13. Come on. Save, 18, save, distribute evenly. That's not a very round number. Yeah, so the yellow is below 14.7, so they are getting drier. Better pay attention to what I'm doing here. Which is good, and I would keep running, except for we have nowhere to put beans, because all the trucks are full, the overhead is full, and the cart is going to be full, and we're gonna haul stuff in the morning. We don't have any way to get them into the bin right now. Plus it's 8:30. Phil went home, and we're gonna call it for the night, and we'll try and have a really big day tomorrow. So it's a little hard to see. There is some white mold here. It seems to be much smaller pockets than what some of the other fields have been, but there is a little bit of it here. This field did have it sort of bad 2 years ago. But driving by, you could see pockets, but not terrible, huge amounts. So I was hoping, and still am hoping, for really good beans up here. So far, they're not really good beans. We're sitting at 61, and I sure hope they get better than that. So now the best part of this field is over in here. It is not up here. This is sandier, and from what I've been talking to other people, anything that's got any sand on it, light ground, the yields have been just terrible because of the dry weather that we had early in the year, where the heavy ground was able to hold the moisture a little bit better. So I would expect that as we get down over here, and especially back into these triangles that's along the river there, this ground is, the beans are going to pick up quite a bit. we'll see. So far, they're not great. Well, we got 12 acres done in this field. So let's see. Yeah, that leaves us with about 175 to do here tomorrow. We might be able to do it. We might. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. So I know that we will be hauling some beans in the morning. We've got lots of that to do. We've got to get fuel up here to the combine, do a little service work. We've got some mowing to do if we've got time. Dad and Brock and Phil and I will all be around tomorrow. We've got plenty of manpower. We should be able to have a pretty darn good day. We'll see if we can't knock this one out. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Hopefully the beans pick up a little bit. We do have to do that yield contest entry, and well, if they don't get any better, we don't stand a chance. And I really want to go back to Commodity Classic this year, so hopefully there's better beans on the other side of this field. Anyway, thanks for watching today. If you would, give me a thumbs up on the video. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Feel free to leave any questions, comments you've got down below, and make sure you check back tomorrow morning for another video. Big harvest day coming tomorrow.